WFMJ. It's the area's most in-depth weather forecast video, and by the area, I mean Northeast Ohio and Western Pennsylvania. Hey everyone, it's Eric Wilhelm here with Weather for Weather Geeks. On this Wednesday evening, we'll geek out to some short-range and, long-range forecast ideas this evening. In the near term, in the short range, things are about to improve in a big way. But we're getting into that time of the year that it can snow and sometimes even stick. And we had that 15 years ago on today's date, back in 2009 on October the 16th. The ground was whitened by some snow and temperatures were in the 30s for much of the day. So as lousy as today was, remember, it could always be worse as we get into the middle parts of October. In the meantime, those pesky, annoying showers that we had earlier on have pretty much faded away as of this recording, and we should be dry from here on out. And actually, when I mean here on out, I mean for the next 6, 7, perhaps even up to 10 days. Probably not many rain chances heading our way, but we will hang on to the clouds for a good chunk of the night tonight. We still have the flow off of the lakes, and while the low-level moisture is drying up, we still have enough kind of mid-level moisture being picked up by the lakes that we'll hang on to the stratocumulus clouds for a good chunk of the night, some clearing by tomorrow morning. Rainfall totals over the last 24 hours have all been fairly light, of course. We're talking a couple of tenths of an inch, up to a quarter of an inch in some spots, especially kind of right in the middle of our viewing area. Lower amounts over into western PA and Lawrence and Mercer County. Somewhat higher amounts just off to our west, closer to Akron. Some places had half an inch worth of rain over the last 24 hours. Temperatures will be a story for the next couple of days. Now, it's still going to be a cool day on Thursday, but at least the sun will break out in the afternoon, and I think we'll get into the mid-50s. Still below the average, but an improvement. And then Friday morning, this will probably be the coldest morning of the season so far in parts of the area. Now, some locations have already slipped into the 20s. We had a couple of colder mornings earlier on this month. I think a lot of us will probably see something between 29 and 32 degrees Friday morning. Maybe an official end to the growing season in our area, and we go by the official readings at the Youngstown-Warren Regional Airport. If we hit 32, that marks the end of the growing season officially. Wouldn't be surprised if we hit 32 at the airport, and again, not going to be surprised if we have some 28s and 29s on the map first thing Friday morning. High pressure rules the roost for the next few days. Any morning clouds give way to sunshine as we go to Thursday afternoon. This high will just kind of park right overhead, and I mean not a cloud in the sky for Friday night, and much of the upcoming weekend as well. High school football looking really good this week. Now, it's middle October, I should say, so of course it's hoodie weather, but not a cloud to be found Friday evening. Check out the comet, maybe between, say, 6:45 and 9 o'clock up in the sky Thursday evening, and again Friday evening around high school football time. Maybe a good time to look on the western horizon, and maybe you'll see the comet that's visible from Earth this week. This is a pretty benign looking pattern over the next several days. This is one model depiction of rainfall totals from tomorrow through next Thursday, and the pickings are slim, not only locally, but in much of the Ohio Valley, the Mid-Atlantic states, the Southeast. Most of the rain's going to be out here in the middle of the country, then heading up into Canada like this, and we will be largely high and dry. There might be a midweek front that might try to squeeze out a couple of showers, but it's not going to be much if it happens at all. Let's talk about the longer range before we wrap things up on this Wednesday evening. One model depiction of long-range temperatures. This is the CFS Climate Forecast System temperature anomalies at 5,000 feet above our heads, but it's usually fairly representative of what's going on down here at the ground. And the models are congealing around an idea that the latter portions of October and probably the first chunk of November looking pretty mild compared to the average. We're going to roll this forward and keep an eye on the date. All these warm anomalies stick around, it looks like, through about Election Day and maybe even beyond that. So I think November will probably get off to a mild start. I'm just showing you one model here, but the models are in fairly decent agreement that the end of October, the beginning of November, not looking particularly chilly compared to the average. Now, November as a whole, will it shake out like that? Maybe. We'll talk about the official November forecast put out by the Climate Prediction Center coming up Thursday evening on Weather for Weather Geeks. And don't forget, my annual winter forecast is less than a month away. It'll be coming up on Monday, November the 11th on 21 News at 5, 6, and 11, or right here online. If you're watching Weather for Weather Geeks online this evening, you can watch that extended, geeky version of the winter forecast coming up in just a few weeks on the 11th of November. In the meantime, thanks for watching tonight. Have a great rest of your night, and we'll talk once again on Thursday.